Buonasera a tutti, good evening and welcome to the Italian Radio Hour. Io sono Viviana and I would like to welcome back our regular listeners and also welcome any new listeners. Also, be sure to like us on Instagram and Facebook at the Italian Radio Hour and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch up on any past video interviews. Vorrei dare il benvenuto ai nostri ascoltatori da tutto il mondo, grazie per essere con noi anche oggi mentre continuiamo il nostro viaggio per l'Italia e la cultura italiana. So today actually we're going to travel in the world of traditional dances and traditional folk music through the words and the dances of three wonderful artists. Connecting from Cleveland, we have Anthony Taddeo, from Alla Boara, a dear friend of ours. And connecting from Italy, we have Andrea De Siena from San Vito dei Normanni in provincia di Brindisi and Laura Esposito from Campobasso, Molise. But before bringing all the dances and all the music, a little pubblicità. Parli italiano? Do you want to learn, improve, or master your Italian? Istituto Mondo Italiano can help. Located in the heart of Regent Square, Mondo Italiano offers small group classes and one-on-one private tutoring to help you learn Italian in no time. Visit us online at www.istitutomondoitaliano.org. Buonasera a tutti, welcome to the program, benvenuti.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
It is so nice to have the three of you together. It's very, very exciting because one of the things that I have become passionate about is indeed the discovery and the preservation of folk music through the talent of Anthony Taddeo, who has been educating us also with his performances here at Mondo Italiano, and his connection with the two of you, Andrea and Laura. Una cosa che negli ultimi anni mi ha molto appassionato è questa la riscoperta dei suoni della musica tradizionale folk italiana e anche del ballo, grazie appunto anche a questa vostra amicizia con Anthony. So in order to get our audience started, let's talk to you, Andrea. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Andrea, raccontaci qualcosa su di te, come hai iniziato, prego.
So, hi everybody, I'm Andrea. I came from San Vito dei Normanni, a little city near to the Adriatic Sea, near to Brindisi, and I'm a traditional dancer in a sense of I never studied academic dance, and so when I was child, I find my tradition, the pizzica pizzica, that is a music and dance that was used to cure people and also to dance together in the party. So I met this dance, this kind of music, this heritage in the elementary school when I was 8.
Let me ask you a question. Is it normal to see this type of dances being taught at the elementary school, or was your school, I don't know, offering a particular curriculum? È normale vedere appunto l'insegnamento di questi balli nelle scuole elementari, o era la tua scuola che in particolare aveva questo programma in particolare?
Yeah, no, it's not normal, and my school did a special program for us, inviting musician and dancer of the town, of the city, of San Vito dei Normanni, and in the afternoon we met the Franco Gagliani, Vincenzo Gagliani, Mario Ancora, that are musicians of an historic group, Caricata. The name is Caricata. So it was a special program.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And pretty much the same question to you, Laura. How did you start? Where this passion come from? Maybe someone else in your family or you're the first one. Stessa domanda per te, Laura, come hai iniziato, come hai sviluppato questa passione e se c'era qualcuno all'interno della tua famiglia che forse aveva già intrapreso questi balli o se sei la prima. Raccontaci un pochino la tua storia.
Sì, allora io ho iniziato danza in realtà a 5 anni, ho iniziato con la danza classica e poi ho continuato con la danza moderna e contemporanea, però nella mia scuola di danza a Campobasso, Scarpette Rosse, la mia insegnante aveva questa forte passione già per le danze tradizionali italiane e quindi grazie a lei da bambina ho iniziato ad ascoltare queste musiche, questi ritmi e subito sono entrata in questo mondo.
Un attimo. Just to get our audience to follow your story. So Laura has started dancing when she was 5 years old, and she started with ballet, with a classical dance. And she little by little the studios where she was taking dances were offering also some other type of dances. The name of the studio was Scarpette Rosse, and the teacher did have was passionate about these folk dances, so that's where Laura got exposed to these new rhythms and these new sounds. Prego.
Poi all'età di 18 anni ho deciso di continuare il mio percorso nel mondo della danza e quindi mi sono trasferita qui a Roma e sono entrata all'Accademia Nazionale di Danza, che è un'università a tutti gli effetti, dove nel novembre dell'anno scorso ho preso la laurea triennale in coreografia.
At the age of 18, Laura decided to continue her path, her dancing career, and she moved to Rome, where she actually attended the National Academy of Dance, which is a full-blown university, and that's where she got her degree.
Comunque, continuando l'accademia, ho cercato sempre di trovare qui a Roma il modo di continuare la passione per queste danze tradizionali e qualche anno fa mi sono ritrovata appunto con Andrea e abbiamo iniziato a collaborare e nel frattempo ho continuato a sperimentare con il mondo della danza, della coreografia, perché appunto una delle mie idee è quella di poter unire queste che sono le danze tradizionali con questo che è un po' il mondo della danza accademica.
Okay, so while she was pursuing her degree in Rome, she wanted to also find a way of continuing her passion towards traditional dances. And a few years ago, she started to collaborate with Andrea and also to experiment, because what I forgot to say is that she graduated in choreography. So she wanted to keep on experimenting with the choreography and also putting together these traditional dances. So it looks like your path somehow is similar to Anthony in a way that there is a university project, there is old sounds and new sounds being created. So let's move back to Anthony. Anthony, you are a familiar guest to our audience, but just in case there is someone else listening for the first time, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your path and towards the creation of Alla Boara.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Anthony Taddeo, and my dad is from Italy, so I'm a first-generation Italian-American, and I've always taken great pride in my roots and in my heritage, but it wasn't until, as you're saying, I was in university at the New School in New York City, and I started to do some research on Italian folk music. And in particular, I found these recordings from Alan Lomax that were done in 1954, and they were so much more incredibly diverse and beautiful than things that I had heard in the past that it made me want to dig more into it and figure out how can I, at some point in my career, create something to bring new life, new recognition back to this music? And so that's how the group was born. And it's now a 6-piece ensemble. We've been going since October of 2020. And we've been this year super busy. I think we've been already in 3 states this year. We're going to be going out to Pennsylvania tomorrow. We're going to be in Erie. We're going to be in Erie, Pennsylvania tomorrow. Not too far from you. So
wonderful. So let's get back to Andrea and Laura. So you started these collaborations, and can you tell us about, first of all, what is the accoglienza, so to speak, the interest from the audience in Rome? Rome, it's a huge city. Definitely, you know, I'm from Rome. I would never associate Rome with the discovery of these beautiful dances, especially from, you know, Puglia and the Salento region. So let's talk a little bit of how, you know, people, the Romans and everyone else is responding to this initiative. Raccontateci un pochino Roma, grande città, grande metropoli, e la riscoperta di questi balli tradizionali. Qual è la risposta che vi dà il pubblico?
Yeah, Roma is a very big city in which there are many people from all over the world, and most of all from the south of Italy, because of a great migration from the south. And for this reason, I think that our tradition, our roots, in the same sense that Anthony says before, many people are looking for the roots, no, through a course, a class of pizzica, through a concert, through a party in which there are food and drink of our family, and in this sense, the audience is great. We have many classes in Rome with a group, with a network called Roma Trad, in which we are many young dancer and musician that are developing this kind of tradition in a contemporary sense. Mm-hmm. For this, Rome is a great city for our job, for our work, for our research, but not only Rome, also Milan, for example, or I work in Paris, for example, I work in Barcelona. So this kind of music is in expansion, no? Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's growing, it's expanding. Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it looks like, for my own personal experience, is that there is, and that's what I told Anthony as soon as I heard his music and his sounds, is like it's a type of ancestral sound and experience that draws you back in. It brings you back to the origins, and that creates a certain energy inside, and then it transmits itself through the dance or the music. Il mio sentimento, diciamo, il mio primo commento sentendo la musica di Anthony, appunto questi suoni ancestrali che un pochino ti riportano al punto di origine e poi in qualche maniera vogliono uscire di nuovo, uscire dal corpo, che sia la danza o che sia appunto la musica creata. Laura, in order also to perform these dances, I'm actually curious, what type of training do people go through per affrontare anche questi tipi di balli? Qual è, diciamo, il training anche che i ballerini devono affrontare per questo tipo di balli?
Sicuramente seguire appunto corsi è molto utile, quindi avere una parte metodologica, però allo stesso tempo anche stare nelle feste vere e proprie, quindi danzare con gli altri, anche con chi non si conosce, lo stare insieme, avere la musica dal vivo è una parte fondamentale per poter danzare, perché a volte non basta solamente la tecnica, ma c'è bisogno anche poi di prendere invece dalle persone e dalla musica.
So the question to, again, what is the training, what is the background, is not just obviously to take classes, but and to learn, you know, the methodology and so the technique, but it's really an experience where it's very important to dance with other people, to the togetherness, the experience of one another, to also experience live music. So it's not just about the technical qualifications, but it's really what every individual in the collective brings to the dance. Sempre Andrea, Laura, and Anthony, I see some beautiful instruments behind you. Are there certain sounds that are indeed associated with certain dances, and it might be certain instruments? Can you tell us about what is behind you, Andrea?
So we have some traditional instruments of the south of Italy, like tambourine. This kind of tambourine, for example, was my first tambourine in my life. And this is a traditional instrument of Puglia Salento. Is an Apulian tambourine.
And what is the skin? What is the skin of those tambourines? Il tamburino di che pelle è fatta? La parte?
Pelle di capra.
Oh, okay. So that's a goat skin. Okay.
Then we have una piccola, a little tamorra.
Okay.
From Campania. Tamorra muta. Muta because don't have the cymbals.
Okay, it doesn't have all the little bells, the cembali. Okay. Completely different sound. Completely different.
Yes, completely different. And here we have a mandolin. That is the most important instrument of San Vito dei Normanni, because in San Vito dei Normanni the people play this kind of instrument, strumenti a corde, like violin, mandolin, guitar.
Strings.
Yeah. In the barber shop.
No, in the barbershop, you're getting a
great tradition, tradizione della barberia. So il barbiere was the maestro of the instrument, and this kind of fact ha sviluppato un repertorio del mandolino alla barbiere.
So
quindi abbiamo per esempio la pizzica di San Vito, no?
So the barber was the one, kind of the maestro, teaching the others. So the new genre, the barberia style genre repertoire was created. Prego. Facci sentire qualche cosina.
No, ma io non so suonare.
No, giusto il suono.
Ok, io stavo per dire, se anche suoni il mandolino non è leale, eh? Non puoi fare tutto così bravo, non è
It's
leale.
unfair. There is a little bit of rivalry here. As Anthony says, if he can also play the mandolin, that's totally unfair. So Anthony, you start gathering your instruments because you'll be responding, okay? What can you show? What can you show, Anthony? After
I also
Mhm.
I also have a tambourine.
Okay, let's hear yours. The sound is not, yeah, the sound is not coming through, unfortunately, because probably you have the little headsets. How about, okay, proviamo, Andrea, how about the guitar? You don't have to take it, okay? Is the guitar...
The guitar is another traditional instrument that accompany every music in our tradition. Starting from pizzica pizzica, going to tamburiata, tarantella calabrese, tarantella del Gargano, and the music like slowly music like serenata, like love song.
Let me ask Laura. So, for instance, Andrea mentioned, different types of tarantella from different regions. How different really they are, or are, can the tarantella del Gargano be recognized by something specific? Andrea ha parlato di vari tipi di tarantelle. È facile riconoscere degli elementi di una tarantella, per esempio quella del Gargano? Sì, parlaci un pochino di questi balli.
Sì, allora, diciamo che la famiglia delle tarantelle è una grande famiglia, all'interno abbiamo, no, un po' come i dialetti, abbiamo diverse tarantelle, quindi Andrea parlavano della pizzica, poi c'è la tarantella del Gargano, abbiamo la tamurriata, e ogni tarantella si riconosce ad esempio da un suono diverso, quindi da come può essere suonato diversamente il tamburo, come diceva prima Andrea, nella tamburriata ad esempio abbiamo il suono della camorra che è completamente diverso dal suono che possiamo ritrovare invece del tamburello nella pizzica.
Okay, so just a little bit. So to my question is how kind of, how many types of tarantella. So it's a big family, and a little bit like the different dialects where one can be recognized by another. You have the pizzica, you have the tarantella del Gargano, the murriata, and sometimes the difference might be on how the instrument is played or what type of instrument is played, and therefore the different sound that they created. Yes, continua.
E ovviamente anche la danza è differente, perché per esempio nella tamurriata abbiamo un passo completamente diverso, dove si appoggia un piede che accompagna il passo oscillando, e invece la pizzica abbiamo un movimento molto più oscillatorio, sussultorio.
So now, obviously that reflects also in the dance itself, and the types of steps completely different in the tamuriata, where you might lean towards one foot more than the other. So I think I personally would like to see or hear something. So because it becomes technical, so I think our audience, especially who is following us on a video, would definitely appreciate seeing some of those. So Andrea, Laura, se vi potete preparare a fare un qualcosina, nel frattempo parlo con Anthony. Anthony, so did you get your audio figured out? Are you going to show off some of your...
Is that coming through at all?
Let's see. Go ahead and play it. Let's see. No, unfortunately not. It is strange why the instruments don't come through. But anyway, while they're getting ready, can you tell our audience, how did you meet Andrea and Laura? You were recently in Italy, and researching, traveling, probably visiting with family. How did this encounter come about?
So several months ago, I actually came across their Instagram feed, and that was the thing that led us together. It's crazy that the social media can be such a gateway to these types of connections and these types of relationships. But I found him on there, and I messaged Andrea pretty immediately after I saw the first video that popped up into my feed, and he was really responsive and really into the idea of meeting up at some point or collaborating at some point in the future. And so when we planned our trip to Rome, I told him what days I was going to be there, and it just so happened that he was available to get together and that they had a class. So he invited me to be a guest in their class, and I got to play some of the tamborello for the class, and I also got to take the class, which was amazing. And it's just something I don't tell a lot of people, but I used to dance when I was younger.
Oh yes, I think we heard something about you being still a little one and already dancing. So this is for you. It's like coming back, going back to an old passion of yours with
Right.
some of the best experts that you could hope for.
Yeah. And they're, just to brag on Andrea and Laura a little bit, they are just incredible people, and their heart for what they're doing is so based on relationships and community and cultivating this culture around the music, which is, building to relationships. And I think that's so beautiful. So when he was kind of explaining that to me, I knew that these were people that I wanted to hang out more with, that I wanted to collaborate with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even because again, it's interesting because some of the not necessarily the type of music that you propose to us, because then there is also your creative take onto it. But some of the sounds that maybe the old immigrant community might associate with Italian folk music. Now seeing the new generation rediscovering it and also wanted to save a huge heritage, because again, if everyone stopped dancing or even maintaining the dialects, it's and the old sounds, it will be just a huge patrimony that will be lost. So that's why we want to share as many of these new initiatives with the audience as possible, because that's what it's you guys that are maintaining those traditions alive and meaningful. Okay, I see that Andrea and Laura are bare feet, senza scarpe. Vi vedo che questi balli spesso si fanno a piedi nudi. Is it something that you see more frequently, bare feet, contact with the ground, with the soil? Allora, non ti sentiamo, Andrea, uno delle tue... Ok, vediamo. Sì.
Adesso mi sentite?
Sì, ti sentiamo, ti vediamo. Ok, so the bare feet, essere a piedi nudi. How important that is?
Probably is for the contact, with the ground. But I think that is a kind of style in this dance. So it is not only for the contact with the ground, but it's a styling point of view. And a question: can we invite a friend to play together live with an instrument?
The more the merrier, as they say here. Prego, per favore, sì, ci mancherebbe.
So we invite Roberto Boccacci.
Welcome, Roberto.
With the accordion, that is another traditional instrument, very present, very, very regular in our traditional from the center to the south of Italy. Roberto came from Scandriglia, a town near to Rome, near to Rieti. His tradition is the tradition of saltarello, that is like tarantella's cousin in our heritage. So we have two big family of music and dance. One of these is called tarantella in the south of Italy, that has many different dances and music in the south. And in the center of the Italy, we have Saltarello or Saltarella, that is very similar, but with difference.
Okay, quando siete pronti, we are ready for you.
We play a pizzica pizzica now from Puglia, and facciamo la pizzica di San Vito. Facciamo la pizzica di San Vito.
Sì.
Quando vuoi.
Bravi.
Bravissimi, bravissimi, complimenti, complimenti. Roberto, sei fantastico. Se poi fai anche un altro pezzo, avvicinerai la sedia un pochino di più al telefono per sentirti anche meglio.
Certo.
Comunque, allora, so I have a little question. So it looks like when Andrea and Laura are coming together, there is a little bit of courting one each other, but then pulling apart. C'è un po' di corteggiamento tra l'uomo e la donna nel ballo o si balla giusto insieme?
In our dance, there is many values, and in a sense of, for example, me and Laura are friends, so it's normal that in the dance we have moments in which we are in attraction, with movement, with the eyes, with gesture, but non è corteggiamento sempre.
Okay, so not always. I mean, there is an intesa, there is with the other dancer. It depends on the dances. And typically, for instance, what would you wear for this type of dance? And would what you wear different from dance to dance, or is not as important? I vostri costumi cambiano da ballo a ballo o avete di solito lo stesso costume per...
Allora, solitamente cambiamo spesso per le nostre performance, non c'è un abbigliamento definito. Spesso utilizziamo un abbigliamento contemporaneo, sì. Spesso io utilizzo delle gonne per avere un movimento molto più ampio, molto più scenico.
Yeah, sì.
Okay. So yes, they change their costumes often. You know, they use a contemporary clothing, and Laura would prefer a skirt so that she can have a wider range of motion with her skirts. So this is are you able to show something else to us, or am I asking too much?
No. When we can do che possiamo fare? Un saltarello? Sì, would you like to see a saltarello?
We would love to see a saltarello, right? So what is the saltarello? So is there a story behind it, or something that you can share with our audience? L'origine del saltarello?
Se c'è qualcosa.
Allora, sì, il saltarello è una danza tipica del centro Italia, che comprende quasi tutte le regioni del centro Italia, quindi Lazio, Marche, Abruzzo e Umbria.
Okay, so the saltarello is a typical dance from the regions that make up the central part of Italy, in this case Lazio, Marche, Abruzzo and Umbria.
E in ogni regione si chiama allo stesso modo, però si differenzia poi dal ballo e il suono dell'organetto.
So even though the name is the same, every region will have a variation, and it would depend also on the sound of the accordion.
Ed è un ballo di coppia.
Okay, and it's usually a couple dance. Prego.
Evviva!
Bravissimi, complimenti. That is exceptional. I mean, the footwork on this saltarello is amazing. I movimenti sono fantastici. And Andrea, I saw that the way that you were hitting the tamburello, was it different? You know, you had more of your closed hand towards it versus, you know, some other, yes. Quindi il tamburello, quando tu lo suonavi, avevi tipo una mano un pochino chiusa, tipo un pugnetto. Ah, ok.
Questo per la tecnica più o meno del saltarello, poi io non sono un grande interprete. Questo per la tecnica della pizzica. Ma anche si può usare la stessa con un battito forte. The technique are parents.
Okay, they're very close. So just one question, and then we'll go back to Anthony. Either the saltarello, is it linked also to special events, or I don't know, di vendemmia or l'autunno, la primavera, or was it, so what's the, if you know the origin of this dance? Se il saltarello è legato, per esempio, anche a periodi particolari dell'anno, il risveglio della terra, la vendemmia, o tradizione particolare?
No, diciamo, comunque è sempre stata una danza che si è sempre ballata in qualsiasi momento dell'anno, proprio anche per la sua sonorità, sempre in maggiore, molto vivace e molto allegra, è sempre stata ballata e suonata dalle feste a dentro le case, ai casali, una volta.
Okay, so it looks like because it's such a cheerful, a happy dance, it was being played all year around, and not just in specific instances. So, you know, whether it was festivals and in the homes and so forth. Benissimo, vi faccio riposare un attimo, ritorniamo ad Anthony. Let's get back to Anthony. Okay. So tell us a little bit about what Alla Boara is doing. So you had this wonderful CD release event at Monte Italiano, but then you have been going all over. Tell us a little bit about what are you doing, how people are responding to, again, this beautiful rendition of sounds. So tell us what's going on at Alla Boara.
Oh man, we've got a lot in store and we've been doing a lot. We just came off of this week-long residency in Iowa and Illinois, and this was through an organization called Quad City Arts, and we got to work with over 2,000 students where
2,000.
we did.
It's
Yes.
a huge number.
Yeah. For a week, we did these master classes and these clinics in schools and their gymnasiums and in their performing arts centers and all these things, and it was incredible to get to connect with all those people. And so we've been writing a ton of new material. We've got plans in July to do a live recording at the Bop Stop in Cleveland. It's going to be a 2-day event where we're going to be recording live video and audio from that. And yeah, I've just been writing and playing a bunch. I think the group honestly is sounding better now than ever. And it's been really amazing to see how people receive the music, because I think that regardless of whether or not you understand what's being said, that people connect to the humanity behind the music. And that's something that's special to like any folk tradition, is that there's something about it so like intentionally human about the music that doesn't matter what language it's in, it's people can resonate with it because that's what it's kind of made to do, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Andrea, Laura, Roberto, so is the summer a good time to catch some of those festivals throughout the Salento region? Is there any specific event that either you put together, or can people follow certain festivals?
Yeah, I propose my artistic residence, that is a festival in which there are many people together dancing and staying together with our culture in a traditional context, like countryside, like by the sea, and this artistic this event called Coreutica, and there will be in July from 17 to 23 of July. And this is important for us because give us the opportunity to share our culture, but not only the heritage, the roots, but an idea of contemporary and an idea of staying together in collectivity, because the contemporary age has many different values in which the human being can lost himself. And through the traditional music, through the traditional dance, we can find a certain kind of relation between each other. And this is important for us to share, not only the music and the dance, but a context in which the body and the soul can stay together with other bodies, with other souls.
One last question, because there are so many Italian communities all over the world. Do you have also people coming from other places of other countries? Or do you know that, I don't know, I'm going to say Argentina, for instance, there is a huge tradition of Italian folk dances. Give us an idea of what is happening in the rest of the world with these dances.
In the rest of the world, there are many groups, Italian groups, that are interested to share energy, Italian energy, with music, with dance. For example, I stay in contact with some groups in Argentina, but most of all, probably, I will go to Colombia in June to share the Republic Day, Giorno della Repubblica, in 2 giugno. And so, because of the presence of an Italian association that share traditional music of Italy mixed with the traditional music of Colombia, we are invited in this week to share our culture. And there are groups in Australia, for example. I do online classes in the epoch of pandemia of COVID, and this fact gives me the possibility to share the Pizzica Pizzica with people that are very far from here. And so we have people from Australia, Germany, Argentina, Cambodia, for example, because there are some Italian people that work there, and so it's an opportunity to stay in contact with their roots. And so yes, in the world we have a little movement, but this movement go little by little to go up. Yeah. Grazie. Sorry, English. I try to stay.
No, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. Laura, what advice would you give to anyone that wants to start diving into the world of dance? Laura, che consiglio daresti a qualcuno che si vuole avvicinare al mondo del ballo?
La danza in generale o alla danza tradizionale?
Ma entrambe.
Allora, sicuramente quella entrare con il corpo in una danza, quindi non entrare con l'idea di dover imparare a memoria, quindi di usare la testa, ma di lasciarsi andare e di riuscire a sentire il corpo in maniera più profonda per poter entrare in contatto con la musica, con i ritmi e seguire un po' questo flusso di energia che tutti noi abbiamo. E bisogna semplicemente ascoltarsi forse un po' di più.
That's actually a great piece of advice. So is actually to enter the dance with your, like with intention with your body, not just expecting to learn technique, kind of let go of yourself to feel more in touch with your body in a deeper way, so that you can then get in contact with the music and the rhythms. So it's really to feel oneself a little more. Roberto, non ti ho chiesto molto, ma volevo chiederti se ci puoi dire un pochino come hai iniziato. So Roberto, how did you start?
Sì, bene, allora io vengo da Scandriglia, da un paese vicino a Roma, tra Roma e Rieti, dove nel mio paese c'è sempre stato l'uso di strumenti tradizionali come l'organetto, e venendo da una famiglia di musicisti, perché mio padre è di professione musicista, ho iniziato a suonare l'organetto in quinta elementare con un maestro locale che veniva nel mio paese.
So yes, so Roberto comes from a smaller town between Roma and Rieti called Scandriglia, not Scandriglia. So it is it's a town that was always accustomed, is still accustomed to see traditional instruments being played, and including the organetto that he played for us before. He comes also from a family tradition of musicians like his father, and he started to embrace the instrument in fifth grade when he had a teacher that would come for the lessons. Benissa, Anthony. So how about you? How about we commit to something in the future where we might be all in the same place and doing some sort of collaboration? What do you say?
I say that sarebbe un sogno, eh?
It would be a dream, right?
Yes.
To be all together. Well, we'll see which one is going to be easier, to fly them to the US or for us to go and meet up in Rome. That would be also a total treat for me as well. So, well, carissimi, unfortunately, our time together is up for today. Il Big Ben ha detto stop. It is time for us to say arrivederci e alla prossima. We want to thank you for tuning in into the program. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have any topics you would like us to address, please contact us at theitalianradiohour@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And remember, if you or of any of your family and friends have missed a prior episode or would like to listen to this episode again, please visit our website at www.istitutomondoitaliano.org and click on the Italian Radio Hour, or you can also listen to us on your favorite podcast platforms or on our YouTube channel. I would like to thank our guests, Roberto, Laura, Andrea, and Anthony. Our sponsor is Istituto Mondo Italiano and Alla Boara for the music. Until next time, alla prossima. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh.